Brown would get a scene worked out. So we'd walk it out and talk it out so each one knows where he is and where we cross and so forth. Brown said, okay, you got it, now you think you got it? Say, roll it, and he'd turn around and walk away. He'd roll a cigarette, a bull-durham cigarette on the blind side. All the tobacco would fall out. He'd light it, and roll another one, same thing. He'd do about 5 or 6 of those. Like, and finally there's a silence, and he turned and he said, over, cut it. So I said, how'd it look? Well, the lamp fell off the table. It looked natural. You pick it up and put it back. Yeah. I said, okay, he ripped the page out. He said, that's one from Macros. 4 Academy Awards, never watched the scene.
Oh, my God.
So much for your modern auteur.
You have to take the auteur theory seriously if you give it the proper definition and perspective.
I'm one of the few people who can pronounce the word auteur, and I think it's bullshit.
I wish more auteurs existed.
Wilder hated the word auteur. He said, I hate that. He said, I make movies. I'll go along with that.
Frank Capra, camera roll 4, scene 126.
It isn't just by accident, Frank Capra, that your book is entitled the name above the title, is it?
No, it is not. In a way, I wanted to make a point of it. The large studios like MGM, Fox, and all of it were making their films on an assembly line basis, in which they made their films by committee, really. An awful lot of people had to say what went on.
Yes, well, you know, directors in the Zanuck system usually had nothing whatsoever to do with the script. There was no damn nonsense about auteurs. That is, directors directed, writers wrote, cutters cut, and Zanuck ran the whole operation.
And I thought that was not the way to do it. I thought if this is an art, then an artist has got to make a film. And if an artist makes a film, he's got to make his film as he feels it. One man, one film idea, pretty much laughed at. So everybody, but the writers especially. What do you mean? What the hell? Where did the one man who wrote it, who photographed it, who did this, who did that?
I still think it's true today. I think the script is still the most important ingredient. I can say that because I'm both a writer and director.
That's true. Well, to me, a captain of a ship has an awful lot of help running that ship. Sure he does. But he's the captain of the ship.
What happened was Ford, on his 3rd day of shooting, came down with a crippling attack of shingles and had to retire, and Kazan was frantically signed on Saturday, went over the script with me on Sunday, and started shooting Monday on John Ford's sets, with John Ford's crew, with John Ford's cast. So who was the auteur?
Auteur theory actually comes out of France, basically with Truffaut and people like that, who believe that they really are the authors. You know, it means authors of.
If someone really controls everything about the movie, and you find that his movies, like Howard Hawks, have a overpowering similarity, even though he worked with 20 different writers, you have to say that is an auteur. He controls the feel of those movies.
Obviously, you know, the cult of the director has been the most kind of influential way of looking at films and understanding films since the late 1950s. And what's interesting is that kind of auteurist paradigm is now nearly 50 years old, and it's stayed with us, and it hasn't gone away.
We all know it's an actor's medium. I mean, a director's medium, sorry. Oh, what a slip.
The auteur theory does not tell you how to evaluate a movie. It only points up the fact that the director is the key element in movie making. I think it has been used by certain people on the basis that if, say, Raoul Walsh made it, it's a good movie. And that is what I really argue
It's
against.
that ironclad rule that insists
That's
on that.
right.
You will
And
fight.
also that directors get better as they get older. I think they don't. All you have to do is look at the career of Alfred Hitchcock. About the last 20 years were a terrible stiffening. He lost his humor. He lost the romantic flair. He no longer knew how to cast exciting players. He used very stiff, stereotyped actors, and his movies were deadly.
Sometimes it does run amok, you know. I mean, when you see, you know, a film by, I don't know, Michael Bay, Armageddon, a film by Roland Emmerich, Independence Day, Godzilla, you know, then you think that, well, if you really want to take this much responsibility of the film, then you should be legally liable for the pain you're inflicting on so many people for watching it.
Qu'est-ce qu'un metteur en scène? Un metteur en scène, c'est quelqu'un qui l'on pose sans arrêt des questions à propos de tout. Bonjour Damien. Quelquefois il a les réponses, mais pas toujours.
You know, the director is the eye of the hurricane. I mean, he has this overall vision that has to be adhered to.
This guy, this one guy has a plan, and all anybody else has to do is just help him do his plan, which is a much easier goal than showing up on a film set going, well, you could sit there, or you could stand, or you could sit by the window, you know, and as an actor you eventually go, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to direct this for you. What do you want?
Kill us if you got the chance.
You know, I came at an interesting time in the 70s where there was this kind of transition. European filmmaking was becoming much more important. The American filmmakers were now studying the 1940s filmmakers and the European filmmakers, and putting that together created a new language in filmmaking.
All the animals come out at night. Whores, skunk pussies, buggers, queens, fairies, dopers, junkies, sick, venal.
When John Calley took over as head of production at Warner Brothers in around 1970, he had been a producer himself, and it was Calley's opinion that it was the director who was really responsible for the movie and in charge of the and should be in charge of the show. And he fired a bunch of producers and kicked them off the lot.
Monsieur le producteur, restez avec nous pour nous parler de Je vous présente Pamela. Non, non, le producteur doit rester dans l'ombre.
Ultimately, what happened was, by eliminating the producer and sort of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, you eliminated the major counterweight to the power of directors, so that directors just kind of spun out of control.
A lot of very fine directors lose their perspective in the frantic mess of making a movie and trying to make it without going over budget. And a lot of terrible things happen to wonderful directors. I mean, you take a director like Martin Scorsese. When he got into New York, he lost track of what the script was saying. He lost the theme. He lost the characters. And the picture just went, you know, it dissipated on him. Well, see, the auteur theory doesn't help you there.